We want to welcome you to our Thread series and our first of our 2-minute recaps. We want to summarize the message in 2 minutes the best we can. Of course, we encourage you to go and listen to the full sermon, but if you can't, you got your 2 minutes here. We began our Thread series in the book of Genesis, a book of beginnings. And we looked at how the Bible is set up really in a 4-part story: creation and fall and redemption and restoration, and how Jesus is found in all of these parts. But we really focused on the creation and the fall part on this Sunday. We saw how sin entered the picture after this perfection of creation, but yet God still pursued humans. He still wanted this relationship, still wanted to work with humans. And we saw how in the first number of chapters of the Bible, God was working with humans to unfold his plan. Then we meet Abram. He has this beautiful promise to Abram that he was going to bless him and he would be a blessing to others. Now, Abram is promised land and children, but many years pass. In fact, about 10 years pass. Once again, God comes to him and makes that promise again. And Abram asks the question of, how do I know? And then it says in chapter 6 of verse 15 of Genesis, Abram believed the Lord and it was credited to him as righteousness. Belief is key. Belief is powerful. And here, I encourage you to read the rest of chapter 15 because God made a deal with Abram. See, today in our society, we have paperwork and we have the different parties coming together to agree to a deal. But what God does is he sets up these animals. Abram set up these animals and God passes through. And normally both the two parties would pass through these animals to make the deal. But as you see in chapter 15, Abram was sleeping at the time. God went through alone, saying that God would be the one that would fulfill this covenant, would walk with this promise no matter what Abram did. See, Jesus went to the cross too. Jesus went to the cross and died for your sin and my sin. He went there alone, and he was not the one that had a wrong. Jesus covered your sin and my sin. Jesus died on the cross for us. And so God is on a mission from the very first book of the Bible to save. We see this with Adam and Eve, with Noah, with Abram, and we'll continue to see this throughout the rest of Scripture as we venture into the book of Exodus next.